It appears like it's going to be a little heavy all day today, traffic.
What about these people in that car behind you?
These people here received minor injuries. They were very fortunate.
So help me God. So help me God. I congratulate you. There you are. Congratulations.
when a team is not having a good year, it's not too hard to get guys up to play a ball game. But what happens when you have a ball club like yours has been this past season? You know, you guys are winning, winning, and winning. Is it hard to get your ball club up week after week?
Well, I don't think so, James. Starting last spring, we moved into some new facilities, our new tea lounge and dressing room down here. And our pride and enthusiasm has just been 100% improvement. And our kids, I couldn't ask for better cooperation than we've had out of them this year. So they're getting themselves ready. They got a lot of pride, and they're going to be ready.
The Central State of Oklahoma, Central Oklahoma State. Do you know very much about the ball club?
I don't know a lot. We have seen film on them. They've got a real good backfield. They've got a good quarterback, a good fullback, and a good. They run out of the eye quite a bit. And they got 3 backs sitting back there, and even 4 counting the quarterback that can beat you. Now they are big and they're fast and very good back.
Go, Randy. You know where they're going. Sorry, Joe.
39, 49, 39, 50. Get him.
You want the light side? Yeah, that's been picked up there. Let's have a complete check. Okay.
You got the GSI, the light gun.
Okay.
Work Thursday night with a set of lights from Masters, and anytime you're available, and today you've covered an 8-hour block of construction, and you've done a real outstanding job on it. Now you have a general idea. At least you've talked to the aircraft, you know, a general idea on how to do it.
situation negative, he told me to left traffic.
Right,
Atlanta
and
290.
report on base. Okay, that's in his final left-hand turn as he's coming into the T. He'll pick up his guide at that time.
No, I'm talking about way out there when we were coming on the ground.
That's probably the second time. Okay, well, we get to go home a whole lot, and yeah, just last weekend I went home and my girlfriend and I went into the Pizza Hut, and a friend of mine hadn't seen me in a while. He came out and he said, "Are you still in the Army?" I said, "Yeah, sure." He said, "Well, we see so much of you, you know, it hardly seems like you're in the Army." He thought I'd already gotten out or something, or breached a contract or something. But it's really great.
I think the attitude of the men are outstanding for two reasons. One being that they're all volunteers, they want to belong. Number two, that their esprit de corps is excellent and very high. It's for simple reason that they came from the same area, which is Dallas. And I wouldn't mind having a whole company of young men like this, because I believe that you can really get a job done.
Now, Fisher, it's time for you to go to work on your boots.
Because of South Vietnam, because we gave them all this gun base. We got the fourth. No, I can't believe that. No, we got the second.
Well, this barracks, you can bring up your posters, put them on the walls. You can put your favorite bedspread on your bed, get your stereo, put it on the desk. They've got a cable for the television. You've got a lot of privacy here.
The Army says it needs about 17,000 men each month to make the all-volunteer concept work. But apparently it is beginning to work, and rather well, at least in the case of the scout platoon recruited from the Dallas area for the 1st Battalion Air Mobile, 5th Cav. This is Jack Hill reporting from Fort Hood, Texas.
George Brown here. Right here. With the regulations and the Uniform Code of Military Justice. Appointed by him.
The Miss Teenage pageant is being held at the Tarrant County Convention Center. Just looking at the building while passing by, you can't tell that security men are covering the entire complex. Guards who are not regular members of the police force are employed by CBS, the television network that will carry the Miss Teenage broadcast. Everyone who approached the entrances of the building were closely checked, and Officer Larry Fisher made it clear that I would not get by the front door without proper credentials. The Miss Teenage pageant official press room was only 1 block away at the Sheraton Hotel. Unless you are known as a member of the local news media, a thorough check of credentials are made. I asked Mary Gensel, public relations woman with the pageant, why the tight security. Once equipped with the proper credentials, I had no trouble entering the Convention Center Hall, where final rehearsals are being held for tomorrow night's telecast. Once inside, I learned that all CBS employees are only allowed to enter the building through 1 door, and each person must wear a color-coded button, which is changed each day. CBS officials are hoping to make it through tomorrow's night's telecast with no problems. Jim Green, Channel 8 News on the Move, Fort Worth.
The Dallas firemen have worked under the protection of the current civil service system since the 1930s, but the Firefighters Association felt the state civil service would offer more security. And so, for about a year, it's been exploring ways to switch from the city-administered system after the membership voted for such a switch last December. And what the Firefighters Association decides to do determines the direction taken by Dallas firemen, since about 95% of them are members. And their spokesman is Kenneth Dodd, the association president.
Firefighters Association has agreed to hold in abeyance its original mandate because of the result last week, Thursday and Friday, in talking with the city manager's office, our administrators, and also the Civil Service Commission. They were very fruitful. We reached a point of probably 90% conciliation, and we're ready to possibly at later time to take a look at it and ask our members to take a revote on the issue.
But what the firefighters finally decide to do will be determined in part by the Dallas Police Association. The police also have voted to switch to state civil service. But the firefighters don't want to do anything unless the two associations can do it together. And so the firefighters now are waiting to see if the policemen also can reach a conciliation with the city. Jack Hill, Channel 8 News on the Move.
Oh, Rosser, I'm not actively seeking it, but it would be less than candid if I didn't say to you that, you know, my name's been prominently mentioned, and I haven't done anything to discourage it.
How do you view the party situation now, and what then do you think in that context should the next chairman do?
Well, I'm one of those that doesn't happen to think that the chairman of the Democratic Party should be the spokesman for the party. I don't think the chairman ought to be its philosophical spokesman. I think the chairman ought to be a man who can create a platform and create a climate in which all the voices of the Democratic Party are heard. And I think that's the first job of the chairman, to bring everybody back in, enable them to start communicating with each other without so much meanness and without so much fatting, and not that they'll all agree. We didn't all agree in the Roosevelt days. We didn't all agree with Jack Kennedy, and we didn't all agree with Lyndon Johnson. But you had a climate created in which people could live together and could communicate and could articulate their differences as well as the things they had in common. And that's what the chairman ought to help them do.
You think you can do that?
Oh, I think there are a number of people who can do that in our party, including me, yes.
Bringing you youngsters down here on the eve of
Harvey, both of you guys make me feel awful small standing here, and I'm sure you hope you all can make Central Oklahoma State feel just as small, since you all are really the key to the Lions' defense. Is that right?
Well, it's 11 guys out there, but we kind of fashion ourselves as being the best left side in the nation. You know, that's all.
I understand you guys complement one another very well. Do you have any trouble playing together? You play together so long that you kind of, you can anticipate his move and he can anticipate yours?
Well, it's kind of a good thing to play on the side of Harvey Martin because, well, see, when he make a mistake, I'm there to cover for it, and when I make a mistake, he's always there to cover for it. So we work together pretty much as a team, and like I said, it's a great thing to play on the side of a person like Harvey.
Well, what happens when one of you guys is having kind of a bad game? If Harvey's having a bad game, is there anything that you do that, try to get him up or vice versa?
Well, I always tell Harvey, if he's having a bad game, I said, well, that's okay, Harvey. We're going to get it together, in the end. And so, if I'm having a good game, he's having a bad one, well, I always seem to just pep him up by telling him, we're going to get better. Everything's going to be all right. In the end, it always seems to come out that way.
Well, now, if you guys are playing a team and they choose to run at the other side of the line, does that make you kind of get complacent or feel like, well, I'm so tough, they're going to run the other way so I can kind of relax?
Well, it has happened, and it's sort of a compliment. We talk about it a lot, but all we can do is trail the play and hope to make a play from behind. That's all we can do.
A small, peaceful tribe of 1972 model Indians visited the Dallas Public Library this afternoon to look at the Indians of Texas in 1830. The exhibit, organized by the Smithsonian Institution, is based on the travels of a French botanist who ventured into what is now Texas and recorded the life of more than 40 Indian tribes. Kenny Brown, staff artist at the library, lent some of the artifacts for the exhibit, like this peace pipe, which had been passed down for many generations of his Sioux Creek heritage. I don't know how much the Indians got out of the exhibit, but I learned something. Edna Wawiotin, a Potawatomi Indian, told me that her maiden name had been changed by the government when she went away to school. Cherokee Trudy Bird explained the practice.
Well, when our people started going to the Bureau schools or whenever they go in to be enrolled, rather than go to all the trouble of writing the Indian name, they just put down the, whatever they thought they liked. If your name, they make it Smith or Brown or Flood. And a lot of the spellings were phonetic. Your name is your heritage, and when you take that away, then what are you doing to the man?
I've been told that genuine Indian artifacts are quite rare. Why is that?
Well, like for my grandmother, when the people moved, they could take one wagon, and you just can't get a lot of possessions in one wagon. We have just a glass pitcher that she brought on the Trail of Tears, and it means a great deal, but that's all that's left. And so the families, the anthropologists will come in and dig up everybody and take them away to museums, and families get separated, and the parents die, and the children are sent away to school, and all the things that are Indian just get lost.
The exhibit will continue through December 10th at the downtown Dallas Public Library. For Channel 8 News on the Move, this is Judy Hanna.
Lawrence Smith of Roanoke, Texas, has a gripe with truck drivers who use Highway 114 near the regional airport. I asked Mr. Smith what his specific complaint is against these truck drivers.
Well, it had 3 killed in the last week, and I've had a serious accident myself, and trucks are just not obeying the traffic laws. They pass on hills, no passing zones, and pull out in front of cars, just all different things.
The Texas State Highway Patrol told me there have been a large number of accidents on Highway 114 caused by these truck drivers. The Highway Patrol assured me that they are making a special effort to crack down on these traffic violators. On November 16th, the State Highway Patrol gave 168 tickets, predominantly 2 truck drivers on Highway 114. The cities of Grapevine, Irving, and Euless have also beefed up their radar patrol on this highway. The Regional Airport's Department of Public Safety is in constant communication with the supervisors of these haulers. The supervisors do try to remind drivers to obey all traffic regulations. If you note any blatant traffic violations on the part of airport workers, call the Department of Public Safety at the airport or your local police department. If you have any problems or questions, write me at Contact 8, Communications Center, Dallas. That's Contact 8. I'm Cecile Burant.
Ten-year-old Evelyn Turrell is a 5th grade student at Pearl C. Anderson Elementary School in East Dallas. She leaves school every day about 3 p.m., but on Thursday and Friday evenings, she heads for a very unusual rendezvous. About that same time, retired Army Sergeant Jim Chatham finishes his work in this cafeteria at Richland College, where he is the manager. He finishes up about 4 p.m., and he, too, leaves on Thursday and Friday evenings for a very unusual rendezvous. Jim is a drill instructor for the Wahoo Park Cubettes. Evelyn is one of his students. Jim instructs this class of young ladies in the art of precision drilling. The young ladies range in age from 8 to 16 years. Jim, who is married and has 5 children, would not be more natural if he were drilling his own brood or a bunch of new Army recruits who had no sense of timing.
The discipline is the same. The wording is different. For instance, there are words quite like I would use on men that I wouldn't use on young girls or any young person. But the discipline is the same. You have to have discipline if you're going to train anyone. So I'm pretty rough on them. Young people today definitely need guidance of all type. I heard a sermon here a while back about talent, and I think that when one has something to give, they should give it. I really enjoy it. I really enjoy it because I think I have something that they can use, something that maybe someone will say, well, now, what the heck is good as drilling? Well, drilling gives them coordination. You teach them to work together and do things together, learn to respect each other. And so I really enjoy doing this because I think that I'm doing the community some good.
The drill team, who practices inside in the winter, performs for churches, nursing homes, and in parades. Anyone can join the drill team, which was started last year because some of the girls missed drill team activities under the new court integration plan. Jim gets no pay for his instruction, and maybe that's why the girls share a special feeling for him.
Jim has taken up his time to help us learn and do the drill team the best that we can. And not too many men that will come up to Wahoo to help us learn the drill team.
Does he treat you a little rough sometimes?
Yeah, sometimes. Not all the time. Just when we mess up, he'll kind of fuss at us.
There are many reasons why the girls love and respect Jim. Perhaps the most obvious is that he's there and he cares. June Gray, Channel 8 News on the Move.
Thank you, sir. I need to go inside if I can and see what's going on, do a little story on this teenage.
I'm sorry, in order to gain entry, you have to obtain a security pass at the hotel, room 1172 at the hotel.
Special press pass?
Yes, press pass, or anyone affiliated with a pageant must have a security pass.
Okay, across the street here.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Hi, Jim. How are you?
Hey, I had a few problems over at this teenage patch.
Strike with the electrical workers. They are afraid that somebody might come in and cut a cable or do something to take this network show off the air.
There's been no problem with the girls.
No, not at all. It's not that level. It's more or less the union and CBS.
All right, sir. Thank you very much.
Thin mine. You say thin that hair out a little and shorten it up.
Do you think you can do that?
Deerskin pipe bag.
It's called pipe stone.
Before it was changed. My name was Edna Kagmiga. My father's name was Joe Kagmiga.
Okay. Now.
Amos?
Well, which way y'all going out? Huh? Patricia, how come y'all don't come to...
Next step and then you turn. It's done just the opposite. Freeze. Next one. About peace. About left leg pull. I lose my voice sometimes. Toe touch, hut.